Hello and welcome. Tonight, let's settle in for a story that feels like it's been whispered on the wind. A beautiful tale about the kind of magic that glows in the dark and the quiet guardian who watches over it all.
So, our story begins where all the best stories do, in a place that feels just a little bit touched by magic. I want you to picture it. A forest so ancient, its branches seem to brush against the stars, and everything is bathed in this soft, pale blue moonlight. At the very heart of it all stands the oldest tree you can possibly imagine.
And it's here, tucked away high in the branches of this ancient tree, that we meet our hero, an owl with a very, very special purpose. You see, our owl, Noctis, he wasn't quite like the others. While they were all busy hunting quietly in the shadows or sleeping through the sunrise, Noctis was always awake, always watching. But he wasn't looking for mice. He was looking for something far more delicate, something made of pure light.
Because Noctis was a bardian. Every single night, as the nearby village drifted off to sleep, his watch began. He protected the fragile, beautiful dreams that floated up from sleeping hearts. This was his job, his entire purpose.
And you should have seen them. As the village slept, these tiny dreams would begin their journey, rising into the night sky like glowing feathers. Some of them were a shimmering silver, just catching the moonlight. Others would glow with this incredible warm golden hue. You just knew they were full of happy thoughts and little adventures.
And then they were the most magical ones of all. They shimmered in these soft, beautiful colors that you couldn't even name, just drifting gently up towards the old tree.
Now the other animals in the forest, well, they just didn't get it. The practical little foxes would often ask him, why? Why do you spend all night watching over something you can't even keep, something that just vanishes when the sun comes up?
But his answer was always the same, so simple and so profound. He'd just say that some things, especially fragile, beautiful things like dreams, are just too precious to be lost in the darkness.
And this was his life, for years and years, night after night, the same gentle watch. But then, one evening, a mysterious golden light appeared in the forest, and absolutely everything was about to change.
This dream, it was different. It wasn't silver. It wasn't one of those nameless colors. It glowed with this soft, warm, golden light, kind of like a tiny floating candle. And instead of drifting up towards a sleeper, it just circled the old tree, as if it were lost.
As Noctis flew a little closer, he could see these beautiful little fragments of memories flickering inside all that warm light. There was a little toy boat, a field of flowers that seemed to glow from within, the silent picture of a child's laugh, and even a breathtaking river made entirely of stars.
And then, the impossible happened. The dream spoke. In all his many years, Noctis had never, ever heard a dream speak. Its voice was like a soft flicker of light, and it told him it was lost, because its dreamer had forgotten how to dream at all.
So who did this lonely dream belong to?
A little girl named Alara. And her heart, the dream explained, had just gotten too busy with the noise of daylight to remember the quiet magic of the night.
And so, for the very first time in his long life, Noctis did something extraordinary. He carefully cradled that warm golden dream between his wings and left the safety of his ancient tree. He glided silently over the sleeping forest, this tiny guardian on the most important mission, until he landed on a single windowsill. He peered inside. The room was calm, and the little girl was fast asleep, but the air was still. There was no shimmering silver or gold, none of that gentle light that always accompanies a dreamer. The room was dark.
And the dream's words echoed in his mind. Her heart had gotten so full of ordinary things, of school and chores and daylight, that it had forgotten how to listen for wonder. But Noctis had carried this tiny piece of light all this way. He was about to give her back that wonder.
He so gently opened his wings. The golden dream didn't fall. It floated from his feathers, drifting down to settle softly above Alara, bathing her in a light that looked and felt just like warm starlight. For just a second, nothing happened. And then Alara smiled in her sleep, and as she did, the room began to brighten. All around her, dozens of tiny silver dreams began to rise from her heart, just like a whole meadow of fireflies waking up in the dark. You see, that golden dream hadn't just found its home, it had unlocked the door for all the others. And when Alara woke up, the world felt different. She started seeing the magic in everyday things again, finding shapes in the clouds, really listening to the wind, smiling at fireflies. The wonder was back.
Noctis flew back to his tree that night, but he was changed too. He carried a new kind of wisdom with him, a lesson he had learned under the starlight.
He finally understood. Dreams aren't just visitors that come and go in the night. Sometimes they're patient. They just wait. They wait quietly, hoping for a heart to remember them and let them back inside.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? The beautiful idea that every single dream, no matter how small, is a little piece of light. And maybe, just maybe, all it needs is for someone to be brave enough to carry it safely through the night.